am not ready for this. I've spent way too long stressing over it, and honestly, finding out that I had to give this speech today almost ruined my weekend. But I didn't let it. I'm the kind of person who can let one moment ruin my entire day. But I've started to realize that I can't keep giving that kind of power to things that don't deserve it. I'm learning that life isn't about what happens to you, it's about how you choose to see it. Today, I want to share a few things that have helped me realize how to not let things take over your day. How our brains can get stuck on negative moments, why changing our perspective gives us back control, and some simple habits that can help us to keep a positive perspective. Before we can shift our perspective, we have to understand how easily negativity can take over our lives. This is called negativity bias. It's the tendency of our brains to highlight negative experiences and focus on them more than positive ones. An article by psychologist Kendra Cherry explains that because of this, we are more likely to recall insults better than praises and be able to remember traumatic experiences more than positive ones. This is natural and everyone has this. So where does this come from? Studies show that this is seen early in infancy. Babies as young as 3 months old experience this, and after their first year, their minds react more to negative stimuli than positive ones. A study in 2020 published by a neuroscience journal shows that our brains respond more to negative images than positive or neutral ones. Evolutionarily, this makes sense because our ancestors needed to pay attention to danger in order to survive. So our brains are used to recognizing negative moments and holding on to them. This is why negative moments can feel so much bigger than they should. Once your brain recognizes a negative moment, it's easy for that to become bigger than it feels. One small thing happens and the day starts to fall apart. Another minor thing happens and the day feels like a disaster before the whole day is even finished. Perspective matters because it shapes how we are affected and how we feel and act. It's funny how just 2 small annoying moments can ruin your entire day, but 2 good moments often go unnoticed. This is because the problem isn't the moment, it's the lens you're looking through. Happiness isn't something that just happens to us. A lot of it is a choice. There are some things that we can't control, but most of the time, we can choose how we experience life moment by moment. Perspective matters because it shapes how we see things, shapes how it affects us. Things can feel huge if we focus on it, or minor if we choose to view it differently. Consciously shifting our perspective can make a change how we feel and act. This doesn't remove challenges, but it gives us control on how we respond to them. I'm sure you've all heard the saying, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. In Dale Carnegie's book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, he describes 2 different kinds of people. When handed a lemon, one complains and assumes the world is out to get them, while the other asks, what can I do with this and how can I make this better? Life gives us lemons all the time, but it's not about the lemons, it's about our attitude and our response. We can choose to take the bitterness or try and make it better. By changing our perspective, we can make lemonade. So if perspective matters this much, how do we actually change it? We can do this by finding meaning in small things. Notice the way the sunlight streams through your window in the morning. Notice the quiet moments in your day, and find comfort in everyday things that bring you joy. Try to pause and reframe when something bad happens. Remind yourself that this small moment does not affect your entire day. By reframing, you can stop the situation from snowballing. Try to create positive in your day. This can be going for a walk, watching the sunset, or setting aside time to do something that you enjoy. The more positive moments you can find, the more you will be able to keep your perspective in a positive mindset. By putting these strategies in perspective, we can stop letting negative moments take over and start noticing more good in our days. This is proof that perspective is powerful and the choice is ours. We all have days where one small thing tries to control the whole story. But when we understand why our minds default to the negative and we learn to shift the way we see things, we create space for something better. When we start practicing those small habits, pausing, reframing, and noticing the little things, we begin to shape lives that feel lighter and more in control. So yes, I wasn't ready for this TED Talk, but instead of letting that stress take over my entire weekend, I chose to shift my perspective, and now here I am, turning my lemons into lemonade to show you that it's possible.